This is the story of a greedy captain and his crew members. They traveled down the deep sea in search of golden treasures, withheld inside a shipwreck, which was said to be guided by some mythical creatures. Their joy was cut short when hunted by the guardians of the sea treasures. Once upon a time, there lived a man called Captain Dunga. Captain Dunga and his crew members were known for their daring exploits and fearless attitudes. Many tales were told of their adventures, and they were feared by all who dared to cross their paths. One day, Captain Dunga received a tip about a legendary treasure hidden deep beneath the sea. It was said to be guarded by mythical creatures, but Captain Dunga was not one to be deterred by such stories. With his crew by his side, he set sail towards the unknown, fueled by the promise of untold riches. As they descended into the depths of the ocean, the crew could feel the weight of the water pressing down on them, but they pressed on, driven by their greed and determination. Finally, they reached the sunken ship that held the golden treasures. They sought, with practical precision, the crew worked to retrieve this treasure from the wreck. The gold shimmered in the dim lights of the ocean, a sight that made Captain Dunga's eyes bloom with excitement. But their joy was short-lived. As a haunting melody filled the water around them, the crew turned to see a group of mermaids approaching, their voices weaving a hypnotic spell. Around them, the crew members were enchanted. Their eyes glazed over as they stared at the beautiful creatures. But Captain Dunga remained unaffected, his gaze fixed on the treasure before him. The mermaids circled around the crew, their voices growing louder and more insistent. Captain Dunga felt a sense of unease creep over him, but he pushed it aside, focusing on the code in his hands. The mermaid's song grew more urgent and suddenly they lunged towards the crew, their faces twisting into expressions of rage. In a flurry of movements, the crew members were dragged away and killed by the mermaids. Their screams echoing through the water, Captain Dunga watched in horror as his men were taken from him, their fate sealed by their greed and recklessness. And then he was alone, surrounded by the remains of the treasure that had cost him so much. As he gazed at the gold in his hands, Captain Dunga felt a pang of regrets wash over him. He realized too late that the treasure was not worth the lives of his crew members. With a heavy heart, he let go of the gold, watching as it drifted away into the darkness of the ocean. And so Captain Dunga was left alone in the depths of the sea, haunted by the memory of his fallen crew. He knew then that he would never escape the wrath of the mermaids, for their vengeance would follow him to the ends of the earth, and so he remained there, a broken man with nothing to show for his greed but a heart full of sorrow.